What up? What up, my guys? Welcome into another show, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. My guy Niall says, "Good energy, everybody." Wade, appreciate you. 6 out of 100. LMM, Alonzo Scott, Joshua Jones, man. Everybody, appreciate y'all. I see my guy Mo in the chat, King Nerd. Everybody, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Mitchell, I see you, my guy. He says Smack City shirt came in. It's fresh. Put that Smack City shirt on, Mitchell. Let's get to some cash today. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you, my brother?
Absolutely, we're back. Thanksgiving week was a little scattered for me personally in terms of content. To answer everybody's question, we are great. Nothing is wrong. Just a small snapshot. You know, when we do this 365 days a year across 8 different sports, sometimes we just have family stuff going on. So nothing's really actually wrong. We're ready to dominate. It's Monday morning. I love Monday. Most people don't love Monday. I love Monday. People are in the lab. They're focused. They're watching. They're ready to dominate. They're undistracted. We are undistracted. Monday, November 29th, 2021, Cyber Monday. You guys buying some stuff? Put some money in your pocket.
Uh-oh. Shark, you still there? Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah,
no, that shit was actually funny, man. He said, "Are you guys buying some stuff?" That was pretty crazy, man. Yeah, Cyber Monday, man. I'm looking for a PS5 for my son, man. So if y'all know some way I can get one of them mugs, looking for a PS5, my guys, for my son, man. But yeah, let's get to some cash, man. Let's get to some cash here, Shark. I don't know why it keeps buffering. It could be my internet. I don't know what's going on, man. But however, let's get to it, man. Let's go to the first game up here. Well, let's go to a game that's interesting, right? Go to the Hornets, go to the streets of Chicago here. People pretty much think that I'm from Chicago type shit, but I'm not from Chicago. We got the Bulls here laying 5.5 here. We got the Hornets on the road. Obviously, they come off the loss versus the Rockets. I know they'll be pissed in here trying to come in here and get this win. Shark, what you think about this one, my brother?
Official play 8 p.m. United Center. We're going to the road team here. A lot of points here. First thing, we always talk about revenge games. Go back to last year. You guys notice this is hitting very consistently because historically NBA basketball, when teams play each other, particularly in a COVID campaign, only a few months back, they remember this. There is roster turnover, but the lines do matter. And sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. And in this Charlotte versus Chicago out of division sequence, they do matter. You go back to last year, Chicago cleaned them up 3 times, 3-0 straight up and 3-0 ATS. Opened the season with a blowout winner as a dog in Charlotte, 123-110 at +3. Then came home and it moved to -1.5. We always talk about this 3 is stock, so 4.5 move is strong. They cleaned them up again, 108-91, just an absolute blowout defensive special. Then they went back into Charlotte, which is particularly noteworthy, and they laid 4.5 points. So it was a 7.5 gap from the first one. It was a double revenge game, and it moved 5 going on the road where it should have come down. It was an 8-point gap, and they blew them out again, 120-99. Now you come back to the 4th matchup of this sequence, and from 4.5 blowout road, you only come back 1 north, 5.5 home. This is important. It has mattered all 3 before. This is the first time it's shortened up for Chicago since the first one last year. And I think what you're looking at here is an interesting buy spot for Am I in and out here? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it went in. I was trying to see if it was me. I think it was you. No, that just finished the tail end of it though. I do think that it's kind of. I think yours is slowly buffering a little bit. But
yeah,
you're good. We hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but so yeah, Charlotte back end of a 3rd and 4 back-to-back sequence laid an absolute egg, an outright loss to Houston, which is flat out inexcusable. No defense in the game, 146-143. But they come back in here, and you see Chicago. Chicago has backed up a loss at home with a win 3 times right now. We always talk about trend betting. Sometimes trend betting can get people in trouble. And I think trusting this Vegas number, which is 2 points short of where it should be, is a telltale sign that there's massive, massive competitive shift between these 2 teams this year. And this is going to be a lot tighter than people might think when people look at the matchups last year. Official play, and I'm not saying the Bulls won't win. I think this will come within 5 points. Charlotte plus 5.5, 1 unit.
I got you, my guy. Somebody in the chat was joking, saying, "Hey, maybe your internet doesn't want to let you get that Charlotte out, man." But nah, hey, however, I understand the points on it. I can tell you this for sure: they'll be pissed off that Rockets loss. But another thing, I'm watching that game. You can't lose those type of games to the Rockets, especially without Jalen Green. You know what it is? Their offense is sputtering. LaMelo, their offense right now is Rozier and LaMelo Ball. Obviously Bridges can get hot. Not PJ Washington move the needle. They don't really have a center right now. Plumlee is still out for the Bulls here. I'll be honest with you guys. It's Bulls or nothing for me here. I actually like the Bulls in the first half minus the 3. I hadn't bet it yet, but I do think the Bulls will bounce back at the house today. They lost that game versus the Heat, right? It was a really tough game. They end up only losing that one by 3. The Heat are a much better defensive team than the Hornets are, even though their defense, the Heat's offense isn't necessarily the same on the road. That still was a very competitive game. I like the way that the Bulls hung with them in that one. They finally got Vucevic back. They were kind of figuring out how to play with him. That's why they lost the first couple of games on him back. I think they're figuring that out now. They have the size advantage here in this game. I think they have like the guards advantage here as well. You look at the matchups here. You have LaVine, DeRozan, and Lonzo Ball going up against. This is what I'm starting to figure out about the Hornets. If you have 2 good defenders that you can put on Rozier and so you have 3 good defenders really, Rozier, Hayward, and LaMelo Ball. If you can stop those 3, then you can beat the Hornets and smack them up, in my opinion. I like the Bulls here in the first half, and if it's me in the full game, I lean towards the Bulls full game here. I think they win this game by double digits. Unfortunately, going head-to-head on this one, but I do like the spot for the Bulls. I think they match up really well with the Hornets, and I think that the Hornets are starting to run out of gas as well. They just went to a double overtime game with the Rockets, 143-146. We see them be really good in the early part of this year. I don't think it's sustainable. The Hornets will go on a slide, and it's going to come on the road. I think they'll lose every one of these road games, my guys. They're just in bad sorts right now. That's why they lost to the Rockets. So I'm saying a lot about this game for not having official. A heavy lean for me, Bulls first half minus 3, and I lean the full game as well minus 5.5. It's not fading my guy Shark. This is just something I looked at last night. I'd like to buy the Bulls here in this spot and sell the Hornets here. I think they've been way too high.
Jay, just a final point. I look at all the same things. I saw the dynamic where they will lose a home game and then bounce back immediately. They have not lost back-to-back home games this year, so of course that is a noteworthy trend. And it is also the home game 2 environment. That was home game 1 off a trip in a back-to-back themselves. I'm not disagreeing necessarily with first quarter, first half. I'm obviously just taking the game. But I do think as a final point, if you look at what's more of a letdown or what's more of a bounce back, when you're getting 1 or 2 points against Miami in a 3rd and 4 back-to-back, and you lose a game by 3 points to what is a East playoff team who went to the finals 2 years ago, for me, that's not as bad of an effort as losing outright to Houston. So when I look at the emotional environment here, I think Charlotte will have so much more of, you know what, we really laid an egg last game. We have to show up here. Where, again, for the Bulls, a tight loss to Miami for me is not like, oh, my God, we suck so bad. We got to really show out here. We blew them out 3 times last year already. And, again, the line is shortening up. I trust the line in this environment as it has indicated a result all 3 last year. That is a very important point. But, of course, nothing official from Jay. Official from the Shark, plus 5.5. Let's move on.
Yeah, you guys make it. I mean, you make some really good points here. Last thing I want to say, I'm not even looking at the spots trends, simply matchups here. I like the way that the Bulls match up with the Hornets. I think they'll go on a skid here on the road, and I think they'll lose the Hornets aren't the same team on the road. I'm seeing LaMelo Ball with this soft ass offense. It's not going to work tonight. I'll go official with the Bulls first half minus 3. Give me official. I've been sleeping on that one all night. Give me the Bulls first half minus 3. I see you in the chat mode. I would not talk you out of Bulls first quarter as well. They're at the house. I think they can play they can stifle this Hornets offense, if you ask me. So give me the Bulls in the first half minus 3. Heavy lean to the Bulls in the first quarter minus the 1. I'm not talking about Thunder versus Rockets. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not talking about it. Nuggets versus Heat. Let's go to the streets of Miami here. We have the rematch versus these guys. The Nuggets smacked them up by double digits last game in Denver, and now the Heat are back at the house now. They are coming off their road trip, but this was the spot I had circled. Obviously, we don't know if Jokic is going to play. He probably could have came back the past couple games, but he didn't, right? So is he really injured or what's going on? Obviously, it's tough to do with this one right now because if you could take the Heat and then Jokic gets ruled in, and even if you still like him, you could have got a better number. It'll go down to at least 4.5, right? And then if he's out, obviously it'll go up to about 10. So Shark, they have this one right here in the middle When you like anything in this one?
No, I mean, my natural lean would be Miami. They did just get insulted on the road, 113.96. And the line is showing strength, of course, a 1.5 road coming in at 7.5 home. They have lost 3 straight to Denver. They got hammered last year twice, too. The last time they did beat this team was 125-105 in the Lake Buena Vista, Florida Disney bubble in the back end of the resumed regular season. Going back 2 seasons, of course, that is probably the least representative competitive environment you will find in NBA history. No fans in a hotel lobby, basically. So that doesn't mean anything in this matchup. And you know what else doesn't mean anything in this matchup? The line. Came back in and they laid 5.5 at home. So again, I would say this. Road 6.5, you blow them out. It should come up to 9.5. It came down to 5.5, and then they blew them out again. So it shortened up, and they still blew them out. And then Miami went in there, and it got super strong for Miami. It moved 7 towards Miami, and Miami still got blown out. So the point of this environment here is out of conference, particularly. Sometimes you just don't have it against a team for whatever reason. And of course, yes, Jamal Murray's out. Yes, MPJ is out. And yes, Jokic is questionable. But don't you think Jokic would want to come back off a 4-game little hiatus here to face a team where he was essentially the antagonist of a mid-court brawl at the end of the game? Of course, Markieff Morris is still out of the lineup on that. I think this is a line all over Miami. But again, I think this is a perfect example where I said I think the line does matter with Charlotte versus Chicago. I don't think the line tells us a very good story here with these 2 teams. I think this could be a lot tighter than people think.
You still there, Short? You still there?
Yeah, my bad. I was talking that whole time.
No, I heard you. Most of it is just when you said the last little part when you said
I don't know what's going on. Coastal Florida. I have no idea what's going on. I apologize to the guys in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Bear with us. It's just, it's not unupdated internet. Trust me. It's just I'm on the coast in Florida. Sometimes there's weather, so it's just unfortunate here.
No, it's all good, my guy. I'm really trying to make sure that we still cool, like both of us. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole stream. But yeah, this game, I can tell you right now, the line is basically when you have a player like Jokic that's questionable and they don't know if he's in or out, like a true question tag, they're gonna say if he's out, it'll go up to 10. If he's in, it'll go down to 5. It's literally right there in the middle, in my opinion. So I had this spot circled for the Heat. Obviously, the Nuggets are on the long slide or whatever. I believe 6 straight games now. But even if Jokic comes back, the Heat will want this game. They'll have something to say about this. So it's already revenge spot and Jokic pushing down Morris. They're going to want to come in here. Like I had this spot circled. The line is a little too high right now. If Jokic doesn't play, though, I don't think the line will matter. I think that he will probably smack these guys up by 20 points. So even if Jokic does come back and he's not 100%, even a little bit too much Thanksgiving, he could be a little bit out of sorts. It's Heat or nothing for me here. It's just simple. It's just you have to wait on the line. I mean, you have to wait on Jokic as far as your confidence, as far, you know what I'm saying? So let's get to the next game. Let's go to the streets of Minnesota here, my guys. We got the Pacers on the road here. The Timberwolves come back at the house after a huge win. I'm watching the interviews afterwards. D'Angelo Russell, he talked to the lady. He was serious. There was no smiles. He said, hey, they want to rest players and shit. No, we're here. We're coming to play. That was like a Super Bowl. I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but that was a huge win for the Timberwolves. They really wanted that game, winning double overtime. They win it by one huge game. I could really see a letdown here, Shark, and I'll be honest with you. I don't think that they deserve to be laying 4 points, come back to the house. I know that they're balling. They are coming off a road trip. They're not ready to be laying points in this type of game, if you ask me. The Pacers can ball with these guys. I think they win this game outright. What are we talking me off, Shark?
I could not talk you off. Full alignment here. 8 p.m. road team, Target Center, Indiana +4 booked 5 or 6 hours ago for me. People love the double revenge. We love the double revenge, but I don't think it matters with these teams. You see it last year. Indiana did go in there and lay 5.5 points and win 134-128 in overtime. They came back home and the line flipped hard to Minnesota at -1.5 Minnesota on the road, and Indy still hammered them 141-137. So this is the kind of thing I was just saying with the Denver spot. The line is not telling you a story here. So you have to go deeper into the matchup and the schedule scaling environment. And what do you find here with Minnesota? An awful travel spot. They're coming off a huge overtime win against the Sixers. They're coming off a 2-game trip against the East. They play one home game against Indiana, who does own them, and then they go right back on the road for 2 more against the East. So it's a 5-game sandwich spot against the East, and they get one home game in the middle of 2 separate 2-game trips off a massive win. And you get Indy coming in here off of an insulting loss to Milwaukee yesterday, but that's just what they do against Milwaukee. Milwaukee absolutely owns that team within the division, straight up NATS. So you ask yourself, did they give big effort emotionally or physically? No. A lot of their players didn't play deep into the game. They have energy here. And one final point, the only other road back-to-back sequence, of course, this is home road, but the final, like being on the road they played this year at
My guy Shark breaking up a little bit. I know what he's finna say though. He's saying that they backed up that one versus Utah when it won by double digits, and they were a huge underdog as well. The Pacers are 7-1 against the spread last 8 games, playing on 0 days rest as well. So they, for some reason, they know how to play in these back-to-backs. This is a different team right now. These guys are starting to ball. Though the Timberwolves are balling, they're going to win at the house. But simply put, not even revenge. I simply think that it'll be a letdown from that game. It was a huge game for them for this. On the Sixers, it was on the East Coast. They come back to the house, 3rd game in 4 nights. You know, she probably came home and had Thanksgiving with their family and stuff. Hey, we can't be there for Thanksgiving. All right, well, we're gonna have Thanksgiving now. We'll have some drinks. We just beat the 76ers, man. We made them beat them, man. I see a letdown spot, and I see a bounce back spot for the Pacers as well. Again, another thing, matchups. I like the way they match up versus team as well. You have Turner, Sabonis. You can throw towards Karl-Anthony Towns. You'll have Brogdon on D'Angelo Russell, who is their best player right now. Anthony Edwards. You're gonna have Justin. You're gonna have Justin Holiday on him. They got LeVert back. These guys got some ballers. I like the bench as well. So I like the matchups here. I like the spot, like the double revenge spot. All this, man. Give me the Pacers.
Did you guys hear any of what I said in that game, or was that take completely gone?
No, we hear most of it. Just for some reason, it's like the tail end. It'll start to buffer. Right when you said, how you look at what they did in Utah, that's when it went out, bro. We heard most of it. It was a damn good breakdown, my guy. We like these Pacers, double revenge spot, everything. The line scale, we like it, bro. It's down to 2.5 now. It opened up at 4. It's down to 2.5. I like the Pacers. I think they'll win this game. Simple. Let's go to the next game. Let's go to the streets of Dallas here, man. We got the Mavs versus the Cavs. The Mavs versus the Cavs, you dig what I'm saying? But you don't bet this game until you see what's up with Brunson. Simply put, I did a Spaces the other day, this past weekend. As soon as Brunson was out, we hopped on the Wizards. I wouldn't be able to say that on the show, but did a late night Spaces. As soon as he was ruled out, I said, you got to bet against the Mavs when Brunson's out. So you see, if he comes back here, the Cavs have been balling. A couple of players on the injury report, Osman and Wade, not playing this one, but Brunson means a lot to the Mavs. I would not look towards them if he's not in this game. If he's in, look towards the Mavs early in this game. Not much from this one, Shark. Anything?
This is a tough one. I want to take Cleveland here on this number. Cleveland got hammered twice against the Mavs last year, both by double digits. Dallas was 10.5 at home, and it held going on the road, actually in a home-and-home sequence late season at 10. Should have moved against, and it really held. They blew them out again. Of course, this is a totally reinvented group, really connecting with this coach. I talk about this all the time. I also love their starting 5 with 3 bigs. You got 3 guys over 6'10" in the starting 5. I don't usually talk about personnel, but I was looking at this group last night. As I made the comment numerous times, they compete really, really well. They are, of course, an absolute ATS juggernaut in this campaign as well. I'm not sure when that's going to necessarily stop. You do get Dallas coming in here off the home game 1 loss to Washington. Dallas has lost 4 of 5 dating back to the games Luka did not play against the Suns on the road and 1 game against the Clippers. Theoretically, you want to get a bounce back from Dallas here, but the line is ultra short for Cleveland. Final point, I do think Cleveland is due to tank a road game ATS. They have covered by a hook at Brooklyn, by a hook at the Suns. And I take you back to early season. The only time they traveled within the Southwest on the road, they were getting a similar figure at Memphis, -7.5 Memphis, and they did not cover. Memphis won that game by 11 points. I could see Dallas getting over the hump tonight on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mavs are nothing here. Need Brunson in. He's one of those underrated injuries that he doesn't really move the point spread, but he means a lot to the team. So just keep up with that. Let's go to the next game here. Let's go to the streets of Utah, my guys. Going to Salt Lake City. We got the Blazers versus the Jazz here, man. It's a pretty it's a damn good game in my opinion. Obviously, the Blazers aren't the same team on the road. I do think at some point they will put it together. Norman Powell is out in this game. No, couldn't look towards the Blazers here. I was going to say maybe a little bit too many points for the Jazz here. Then you got their best perimeter defender out. He'd be on Donovan Mitchell. That's who you need. You can't put Dame Lillard or CJ McCollum on Lillard on Mitchell. What are we doing here? No look for me on this game, Shark. What we think? What you like?
Official play, home locker room, Utah Jazz -7.5. Again, the line functionality tells you a damn good story here. Go back to last year, Utah -1.5 on the road in the opener, 120 to 100. Then came home, jumped up to 5.5, one extra point of movement going road to home, a blowout, 122 to 103. Then off of 5.5 home revenge game, Portland, it came down to 1 Utah. Portland won 105-98 in a really low scoring game. Now this comes up to 7, highest of the last 4. Revenge game, Utah. Portland does not travel well. And the totals coming up, which speaks to us of a 98-point showing in the last one where Donovan Mitchell did not play. I think this isn't just another spot for Utah to show up at home, shoot the ball well, and catch a Portland team that just purely is not connecting with the travel point with Chauncey Billups at the helm and whatever's going on in the locker room of this group. Official play, revenge game, line all over the Utah Jazz, -7.5.
I could not talk you off at all, my guys. Blazers 1-9 straight up and against the spread on the road, simply put. Let's go to the next game here. Let's go to the streets of LA, my guys. We go to the Staples Center, no, the Crypto.com Center, whatever the hell they want to call it. Clippers here on the back-to-back. They lost yesterday versus the Warriors. It was a pretty big game. They end up still losing that one by 15. A lot of turnovers there. Now they got the Pelicans, a revenge game for the Pelicans. I did get a haircut yesterday, but I'm not on the Clippers today. I would lean their way. Obviously, the Pelicans are not so great on the road as well. 2-10 straight up, 3-9 against the spread. They are coming off a couple. They did come off a game where they beat the Jazz and then they got smacked up where they were supposed to in the second game. So be interested to see if their defense can travel here. I like the Clippers, but they're not that great an offensive team for me to be laying a lot of points with them here. So I'd like to say I lean the Clippers with some revenge here, but I didn't bet the game. Shark, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is tough. The natural lead would be Clippers to bounce back and beat a team that they just laid an absolute egg against on the road going back 5 or 6 games. But we've talked about this numerous times. The Pelicans are a team that is going to catch some wind. Of course, Zion Williamson coming back at some point soon. This team at 5-17 is just an absolute disaster. And you've seen them show up in some spots and cover these spots. You do get the Clippers also on a back-to-back here, which has not been their bread and butter in this campaign. This opened at 8.5, and it's actually getting steamed down. I think that's pretty much exclusively sharp action. When you see a team that's 5-17 moving 2 points in their direction in the market, that's usually sharps. Nothing from me here. Ultimately, the line did open with 1 point of strength of the Clippers, but again, back-to-back and fading the Pelicans here is just a tough look.
Yeah, no, I'm with you here. It's I don't know. I'm like I always tell people, the Pelicans are better than what they look like. They're not this bad. They will come up, in my opinion, at some point. I'm not betting this game. I can see it going either way. My thing with the Clippers are their offense can really go on droughts. They're a really good defensive team, and their offense can go on droughts. So I'd definitely be, if I was a total guy, I'd be looking towards the under in that one. A few more games, nothing from me. Wizards, Spurs, Shark. If you had something real quick, we got 5 minutes left. If you like anything, Wizards, Spurs, or Magic, Sixers, my guy.
Nothing official. We're not putting officials on record in the totals category, but I have been looking at them. It has been something that I dabbled in the past, of course, not on this show. But these unders with the Spurs are pretty interesting, actually. Last year, the game between Washington and the Spurs on the road hit, I believe, 290 points in overtime. And now this comes in at 215.5. I said the under was a good look against the Celtics, and you saw what happened, 96-88. This is a similar type of group with the Wizards. Mid-grade Eastern Conference opponent that can sprint when they want to. I think it's just a new style of ball here. Definitely nothing official, but I do think the under would be a better look. And same thing with the Sixers game, actually. The Sixers under 205. You talk about line scaling and looking at what the line tells you. When you see a line at 205 in 2021-22 basketball, you should take note. It's so low. And it's not usually low because the books are giving you a free handout to the over. They're usually telling you this is going to be a major environmental shift. And Orlando really can't score the ball particularly well. 76ers are coming off of an over in overtime. And I think this would also.
You still there, Short? Junior. No, I'm messing with you, man. I know it's out of your hands, man. My guy down there on the beach. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, them games, don't bet those games, man. If y'all like something, you got a hidden angle, some props or something, those games, talk, man, stop it, man. Yeah, look towards the unders there with my guy Shark. There's some damn good looks there. He leans the under in the Magic Sixers game, and he leans the under Wizards Spurs. Nothing for me, Shark. Break them off with your officials before we get out of here.
Yeah, we apologize about the internet. I will get it looked at. But again, this is nothing systemic. I think it's the storm outside. We're getting a weather system here. Official plays today, November 29th, 2021. Chicago Bulls on the fade spot for me. Charlotte Hornets plus 5.5, 1 unit. Indiana Pacers plus 4, 1 unit. And Utah Jazz minus 7.5, 1 unit. J Money.
Sharp. Good God, sharp looks, my guy. My guy is going undefeated. I'm telling you that right now, man. For me, I like the Bulls early in that one. Brunson did just get ruled in for the Mavs, guys. So no Willie Cauley-Stein, but Brunson is in. So take that for what it's worth for the Mavs. I like the Pacers, man. I'm definitely going to take the Pacers. I'm still iffy with the Bulls, but I do like the Bulls early. Those are top looks for me today. Bulls early, Pacers. I could even talk you out of Pacers early as well. I think it'll be a funky spot for the Timberwolves coming back to the house, opening it up. The Pacers obviously have to come out here and smack them up. If they want to win the game, you can't get down to the Timberwolves and want to come back here on a back-to-back. So the way I'm looking at it, I need the Pacers to be up after the first quarter and don't look back in the game, smack city spot. That's how I see this one. So let's get this cash today, my guys. Let's catch these smack city spots. My guy Shark here. Go and follow him on Twitter. Let me get it real quick. Let me get go and follow him on Twitter right now at Sharks in Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Unfortunately, I've been having to rush towards the end because I have to do another show, but we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow all week with the NBA top looks, trying to help you guys, you know what I'm saying, with some betting betting insights. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guy, Shark in Sports. I'm your host at J Money is Money. We out, my guys. Appreciate you for tuning in.